Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Bashor, and you're joining us once again on Only Stupid Answers. If this is the first time you're joining us, well, thank you. You're here at the end of a series review of Harley Quinn on DC Universe, but we appreciate you joining us. As always, Mr. DJ Wooldridge is here with me.
Me.
How you doing?
You know, man, I'm excited to talk with you about the season 2 finale of Harley Quinzel.
Yes, and I'm bummed that it's the finale because I thought it was amazing.
Yes.
I think season 1 we were like pretty uniformly like it just kind of like got better.
Yeah.
Season 1 we're like, oh, can they keep it going? But it basically not even the halfway point, you just hit a point where you're like, oh, I get what you're doing now. And and the entire series clicked. I think this is consistency wise, I think this is the most consistently good show DC Universe has made, even though Doom Patrol is really good. I just think it's also played with the idea of what this show could be in ways that I didn't expect. But you know what? Here, I'm going to do my quickie synopsis read because I like doing that. I usually do an okay job doing it. We're talking about season 2, episode 13, The Runaway Bridesmaid. In the season 2 finale, nothing screams season finale more than the big wedding. As Ivy and Kite Man make final preparations, their special days threaten to be derailed by an overzealous and scorned Commissioner Gordon, who can't resist the opportunity to crash a party attended by all of Gotham's biggest villains. In the end, Ivy and Kite Man's best chances at a happily ever after is for Harley to come to their rescue. That is if she can be the first sort out her own feelings for Ivy. Boom. So kicking it off, beginning of the episode is the big thank you to the Justice League, which we get Space Cabbie. And I'm trying to remember who was the kid in the original hero on Super Friends. Then they adapted him for Young Justice, and he was the one who could get like he could get bigger in the Super Friends, but in the Young Justice he had like a big spirit form.
Oh, yeah, it was Apache form. Chief, I think, in Super Friends. Yeah.
And maybe they called him no, I was gonna say El Dorado. El Dorado was somebody
else. Yeah.
And I'm glad they didn't call him Apache Chief when they did Young Justice, and they didn't call him that now. Yeah. But I think he was standing up there.
Yeah, and then there was a guy that I don't think was Adam Strange, but kind of looked like Adam Strange, had a red get up.
Who are these guys?
Yeah. Let us know.
Space
Cabbie. Let us know in the comments if you're able to get a screen grab of that and you're able to ID those characters, because I thought that was pretty fun.
I know you didn't read the Robert Venditti Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps Rebirth series, but Space Cabbie played a pretty big part in it in a pretty great way.
Space Cabbie also showed up in that Adventures of the Super Sons, the one that kind of like the untold adventure that happened after they already aged up John Kent or whatever. He showed up in that as well. So he's a fun one to throw in there. Him and like Ambush Bug and some of those other characters are fun to like pop in there. I will admit, when the mayor was like, I gotta thank the guy with a mustache, I thought Omelette du fromage, whatever Alfred's superhero identity was.
He should have gotten a thank you.
I will say, just off the bat, even though I love this episode, I thought it was really good. I think that's a good segue to my one critique of the episode, and it feels a little bit bigger than a nitpick, is a lot of that stuff with like Alfred's superhero identity and specifically Batgirl. Batgirl doesn't show up at all, and that felt like it didn't. That absence made it feel less like a wrapping of everything up.
Yeah, because she played because I was trying to remember her entire plot line throughout the show, and I think the last episode we got was helping her get her dad cleaned up, and then she warns Harley about what her dad's doing. Yeah. And that was the last time we saw her, and that's unfortunate. And I don't disagree with you. I'd rather she had come back in some way. It would have been a complicated dynamic because she does like Harley and Ivy. So does she go up against her dad, who is trying to actually do something good by taking out all these villains? Because it's a lot. Yeah, like a lot of
villains are there, including Bane. He doesn't get a line, but he's there.
He's there, and it's good because he dressed to impress. And Man-Bat was there. He's drinking out of a mason jar.
They like that. Wedding. Also, one of my favorite running gags is Clayface wants to impress on his song because Catwoman's date is Tim Burton, until we find out it's like a guy named George. Like she's like, let's get out of here, George.
Or
Gary or something like that. It's not Tim Burton, but it was a really funny recurring bit.
Just really quick before we move too far away from the heroes getting the keys to the city, I did want to read a comment from last week's video because I did not read one previously, but I wanted to make sure we get one in. Wannabe89 says, wait, so are we not going to talk about the fact that the DC Trinity had a threesome on top of Wayne Tower? We didn't talk about it.
We did not talk about it.
It somehow slipped our minds, but they sure did. And all the resolution we got from that is that they got keys to the city. So
yeah, there you go.
That's
well,
it.
And they got their threesome. And listen, tension has been building between those three for decades.
As long as Batman and Superman can just smooch a little bit and they're having a good time and it's all good between them, then that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
I mean, they were drugged, so
it's complicated. Listen, it's a little complicated. It's
complicated. Yeah. And also, they didn't turn into trees, which I thought that's what happened when the kids turned in. Remember last season, the kids turned into
pheromones
trees
or whatever. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but hey, who knows?
Maybe it was a different. Maybe it was a different pheromone. Who's to say? So,
maybe.
Like you were saying, Commissioner Gordon is a little bit peeved. We could say that he didn't get a key to the city, so he's going to try and. Which I actually really like the idea of Jim Gordon running for mayor. I think that's something the comics should try to do. And I think if the show gets a third season, I think that'd be something that'd be really interesting to see. I think that'd be a good arc for him. But yeah, he goes to invade the wedding, which, Harley's pouting in Arkham Asylum, and Two-Face uses that as a way for her to not only break out, but break him out. And that's what gets her to the wedding.
That was a really good line when he said, as Ivy pointed out, it's like a literal two-faced man told you to come here because it was going to be raided by the Gotham City Police. I like that. By the way,
yes.
Fun comic book fact that I just realized during early New 52 era, do you remember One Face?
No.
I think it's like one of the personalities took over fully, and he's like, I'm no longer Two-Face, I'm One Face. And that was I never read it. I just found the clip. It made me laugh really hard.
Yeah.
It was like when you find comic art that got rushed, so some of the proportions on people's bodies are wrong.
Yeah.
Famously, if anyone wants to Google Batman's face in the Injustice comic, it's all like scrunched down. Very funny stuff. Going back to the episode, comedy gold. Also, bummer to Condiment King. I mean, he was an a-hole.
Yeah,
he's gone.
He's gone. That was one of a few moments that were really, really funny to me. And I liked Poison Ivy's like, he's definitely not dead. He's out of town for who knows how long, but probably forever. That bit was so funny. And I also liked Frank is the plant, right? I liked his bit with not necessarily the punchline. The punchline was a pretty good bit of blue humor, but I did like him flirting with the other flowers.
And the twist that I didn't even realize that they were switching out the flowers with plastic ones.
Yes.
That was a good twist.
That was smart.
And I still like. Oh, and also Jennifer came back.
Yes,
thank God. Jen. Now,
yes,
she's more relaxed.
And Catwoman refuses to wear the bridesmaid's dress
because that makes sense. But I really liked the piece of dialogue between Ivy and Harley where Ivy's talking about that she's so busy taking care of other people. She doesn't literally had the chance to think about what she really wants.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because she thinks she wants this. She thinks she wants this. And when she has that little mini panic attack when they're giving their vows, it's rough. Also, Kite Man, you really laying it on thick. What you want.
And also, maybe you should have had those conversations before this moment.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have talked to some about that. But I did like that too. And I think honestly, that's where kind of there's room for room to grow in season 3. And also what kind of, if this is the end, kind of makes it feel a little less than completely resolved in that I really like the note the episode ends on. However, Ivy still technically hasn't gotten a chance to figure out what she really wants, which makes her writing off with Harley feel kind of impetuous. And so I do hope we get a season 3 to kind of unpack, give Poison Ivy actually a hot second to like really think about what it would mean to be in a relationship with Harley. And is that actually what she wants? Or does she really like her friend and is also attracted to her friend? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a lot to unpack there that I hope we do get another season to see where that goes.
I agree, but I did but to talk about the note that it ended on. I like Harley actively trying her damnedest to try to help this wedding happen.
Super
she
endearing.
Is really trying. She's really trying. And I mean, there's a lot of other motives and whatnot because she does love Ivy, but she loves having any kind of relationship with her at all. So she'd rather sacrifice her own happiness to help her. And so when she's really trying, and also it's fine that Kite Man's mad because I forgot that he did see the gigantic display in the sky from Dr. Psycho.
Not exactly the most subtle way to find out.
No, but a lot of people in the comments in the last video liked everyone's individual reactions to that, which was really good as well. And I do like the note that Ivy is trying to. She does love Kite Man, but she doesn't want this, and that's okay. Just should have had these conversations earlier. But I get that you guys, your lives are crazy. They're moving so fast, a mile an hour.
Yeah, Darkseid's showing
mile
up.
a minute.
Mile a minute. We're moving a mile. Things are going so fast. We're moving a mile an hour.
I can barely keep up.
I liked Kite Man having a moment where, because I think we even said it last episode that he's like, he says it here, like, I'm simple, but I'm not dumb. And he puts his foot down and he's like, you don't want this and I'm not going to force it. And then, which leads to, hands down, my favorite gag of the episode. I laughed so hard when he pops the kite open and it says "just married" on it. I don't know what it was about that bit in particular, but it oh my goodness, it really got me.
Chuck. Kite Man Brown. I'm really glad his name is Charlie Brown.
Yep.
But so the kind of like loose threads that we have are them running off together, but also the fact that Ivy really hasn't had a chance to talk about what she wants.
Yeah. Besides
the fact that she does not want to be married to Kite Man and have kids and do that whole thing.
Yeah.
She does love Harley.
Yeah.
She does want to be with her, but what does that mean exactly? Commissioner Gordon wants to be mayor. We have that. We have Batgirl. We're not sure where everyone's at. The Justice League's back.
Yes.
But there is Darkseid, there is Dr. Psycho, and we don't really know what's going to happen with the Joker, but there is, man, it's really interesting what this show did with the Joker. Weirdly allowing him to have a happy ending when he...
Of all the characters.
Shouldn't.
No, he should not. Especially not as Joker. I can't remember what his non-Joker name was, but that guy I'm okay with getting a happy ending. Joker, it's like, we need to deal with this.
And we might need to. But and also, I know we've thrown this out there a bunch, but Kite Man could be poised to be a villain, but at the end of this episode, he's not angry at them. Really, it doesn't feel like he is. He's upset that he hasn't accepted the inevitable of this relationship.
Yeah.
And I really like that that's the place that he lands, but you could still have him become really try to find himself. What does he want to be? And I would like to see what maybe either a stable Kite Man, maybe he's actually learns how to fly a plane and he gets crazy anxious doing that. Maybe he doesn't feel safe with that. The Kite's way safer.
Yes, Kite is safer.
Or you could have him kind of go, we've thrown it out there, to be like a crime boss. I like the idea that he, NoHo Hank and Barry.
Yes.
And for people who don't watch that, shame on you. But really good show. He is everyone's buddy, but he is running a criminal organization, a mob.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work, but it works for a little bit, but it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
So that would also be an interesting place to take Kite Man.
It would be interesting with season 1 to reflect Harley's efforts in season 1 to join the Legion of Doom and how difficult it was for her. If in season 3, Kite Man just immediately rises up through the ranks and becomes a major lead, and that's the way he becomes a threat. And it'd be funny for his character, but also kind of a comment, the type of commentary that show likes to make. It'll be interesting to see. But as far as this episode, where we end up with, I liked the kind of the Thelma and Louise reference with them in the car together. Thankfully, we don't need those two characters to drive off a cliff together. But the way it ends with the chase throughout there through the cornfield. I can't ever remember what the corn factory. Yeah, it's the parking
corn factory.
Yeah,
it is a corn factory.
It is a corn factory. That doesn't make any sense. Driving through the parking lot of the corn factory and that whole chase and the way that escalated felt classic for the show, and it felt like a good note to end on. And I'd feel remiss to not mention that Ivy really did look great in her dress.
She did.
Yeah. She was rocking it.
You gotta put. Hey, it's okay. Everyone puts extensions in their hair to make it look fuller.
Yeah.
Everybody does it. I do it. What if I just I shave my head in quarantine? Get all those germs out of there.
What else was I supposed to do?
What else was I supposed to do? It's very much like Frank and It's Always Sunny. He wants to be pure.
Yeah.
But also just had this cross my mind. We're mentioning a bunch of other shows. If you guys want us to talk about other shows, you can let us
know in the comments.
But, what if we took Kite Man and to really be on a path of improvement? What if he joined the Justice League?
Cool.
What I would because you got Blue Beetle in there. You tell me Blue Beetle gives more to the team than Kite Man would?
I will say,
Kite Man?
Of all the things, not to be one of those people that like the show didn't match my fan fiction. I am bummed. I feel like the show could get a lot of mileage out of characters like Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, who we've mentioned before, possibly showing up. Not that this season did not have plenty to do. But I would, if we got another season, I would like to see some of the C-listers and maybe Kite Man in the Justice League. Would be
Justice League International.
Yeah, would be would be a good way to do that. But I do that does make me think of something I want to say. If this is the end, props to this show for continuing to emphasize how rich a character Harley is, and showing how much mileage. I mean, because she was literally just Joker's sidekick in an episode of Batman the Animated Series, and now she not only helms her own series and her own movie, but both of those, the takes on those characters, while coming from the same place, are very different, and it's cool to see. I don't know, because as comics have been around for decades, so normally like we come in after the character, everybody knows they're already cool. You know what I mean? But it's been interesting to live through Harley going from a side character to headlining her own stuff, and seeing like when she is trying to help Poison Ivy's wedding, it was a good reminder of like how great this character is, and I'm hopeful that we not only get more of this show, but more opportunities for people to unlock and use that character in new and interesting ways.
I agree. Very well said. I was utterly thrilled that this show, man, you remember when we got the press release email? Please go back to our season 1 reviews when we talked about this, but they gave us all 13 episodes of season 1 right off the bat, which that's not something that normally any show does, any network does. But there was a note from the creators of the show saying that they believed in this show so much that they gave us a list of episodes they think we should check out. But you don't have to, but to get the gist of what they're after. But they think they even knocked shows that DC Universe was making to say that they thought theirs was better, which I was like, you're right. You are correct. So the confidence behind this show in storytelling and the performances from multiple like comedy actors and Kaylee Cuoco did so many cool things with this character. Also, not that this is a bad part of her personality. I have never been a big fan of Harley with like the big Boston accent, you know, like the big, like the chewing the gum and like the
New Jersey,
New Jersey, it's never been my favorite, but she still like uses it throughout the show, but also created this like complex character. I didn't mean to dunk on Harley as a character right at the end, but I was just saying I thought Kaylee Cuoco, I didn't mean to knock something down to bring something up. I meant to say Kaylee did a very good job with this character. Also, Lake Bell, who if anybody remembers the hit NBC sci-fi drama Surface, that's where I first watched her, and I haven't really kept up with her. I know she's doing very well at doing like live action, regular acting, but she did an amazing job with Poison Ivy, and this is such a cool exploration of Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn's relationship in a way that, like, I know there are fans for comic readers, there are fans of that relationship popping up there, but and maybe, you know what, I would love recommendations to read their relationships in comics compared to the relationship we saw on screen, because I just feel like the way they've explored it so far in this show is the cream of the crop, is the top tier stuff. And I want to throw the question to you guys, the viewers. What would you want to see in a season 3 or 4? It would be very cool if they ordered another 26 episodes. And they just did like a season 3 and 4, and then they capped it off. That's fine. Good Place was like that. Even though I'm bummed that show's over, they did a very good job with it.
Agreed.
So I wouldn't mind just one more go around with these characters to kind of close up shop. But let us know what you would want if there were future seasons. There's no announcement this is the series finale at all, so there could be more, but who knows. Let us know in the comments down below or on Twitter. But before we give out our Twitter handles, DJ, what would you rate this finale, and what would you rate this season?
I would rate this season overall a 9.5, and even though I will give the episode a 9.5 as well. I do feel legitimately bummed that we didn't get Batgirl, and some stuff didn't feel like as resolved as I would have liked for a season finale. But the highs really, like paper over that. The car chase at the end, and the just married Kite, and Condiment King being eaten, and all that. And I do think this was series best performances from Kaylee Cuoco and Lake Bell, and the actor who plays Kite Man. I think those three, this was some of their best work in the entire show, and it was really, really cool to see. So I give this episode a 9.5 and the season a 9.5.
I agree with both of those scores. I really, truly appreciate this show. It's something I get to look forward to every week, and I hope you guys do as well. So let us know what you think on the social medias. I'm at Sam Bashor.
I'm at DJ Talks Trash.
Follow us at Only Stupid Answers.
Yank out the bells from stupid.
You guys know the gist. Check out our Patreon if you'd like to support the show in any way. You can check out our podcast. Comes out every Monday. We've got so much content for you guys. We're going to be reviewing more DC stuff on this channel and possibly more stuff soon. So keep your eyes out. Subscribe, like, share. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.